Just teasing. Ha, it's back. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to turn it on. Thanks, dudes. Tricked ya. Again. What is this, show number 112? That's Saturdays. Man, silent movie. Might be better that way, Spencer. What is up with you? Yeah, I just didn't have it on. Sign language. If I do sign language, you're all going to be number one. I promise. And we're back. Eddie K in the house. Mike Kennedy. Yeah, Wreckham Roy. Fred Barron. Good to see you again. P51D fan. Nate Bravo. P51. Little N Big Mouth, as I like to call him. You all know it's true. Good kid. George Watts, Eric Quinn, Technophobe, Speed Team Lozy, Raymond Molina, Grayson's RC. What is happening? Folks. Race 22, Warren in the house. Tim Toutant. Ha! I fleece him and how. Technophobe. Eddie K with the emojis. Terry Farmer. Eric Quinn. Victor. RC Jet Shamulus. Love it. So, man, so glad to have got out and flown on Friday. It's usually pretty hard to do during the week, but that's changed. So that's opened us up quite a bit. Used to be relegated into only a short Saturday because of the show and a Sunday. It's like, man, you got to be with the family some, you know. So, I mean, no one's going to go... Farmer Man, yeah, we'll plug you in a minute, dude. It's fine. We're not gonna like, hey, just got here, go, we'll leave and watch something else. I just don't want to do that. You don't have a wrench, and so then I got to give you a wrench, and then, but you can drop a link all you want, but it won't work. That's the deal. Drop it on the RC Pilots Lounge Facebook group. Anyway, check that out later, guys. Farmer Man's channel, which the name changes all the time. The Farmer's RC channel. He's got a video of an air show that he's put up. So go ahead and beat it. Go watch that and come back, I suppose. I know, Fred, that's totally true. Y'all probably get more of me than they do half the time, to be honest with you. It's kind of nuts. But it's really nice how things are loosening up. You know what I mean? And except for the flying part in front of the camera, they're in bed. Unless I do one of those early live streams. They're asleep already, so it's not like I watch TV. There's nothing on it. SEO Innovations, I use all the batteries. I use every battery pack I have. RC Jetworks, Roaring Tops, Smart Batteries. I still have Admirals, some SMC packs. I really do like my Smart batteries though, because they work really awesome with the Smart chargers I have. Nate, yeah. Just like the Big 29. I tell you what, there's a lot of that around. The Go Get 'em wire, all those kinds of, there's a lot of that. Be looking for full flap regalia coming to a YouTube video near you. Maybe not even from me. Awesome. Man. We got one more week of fall ball. A lot of you guys know me pretty good in here. Pterodactyl, what is happening? So, thanks, George Watts. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? A little bit. Great. I flew a bunch of stuff. Awesome. You know, before I get on with it, because I've been thinking about this for the last few days, and I didn't want to forget it. So, I'm going to be a little bit more official moving forward. You know, a lot of guys work in this business. We really just show you everything, but we don't really explain where it comes from. A lot of times you guys assume it's provided for us, to us, and a lot of times it is, but sometimes it's not. And it used to be never it was. So, Harold, man, absolutely. And when you guys get your hands on the sticks, you'll know it's true. What I want to do is thank my sponsors, and my first and biggest and overall most abundant sponsors, and whole reason for the whole thing is you guys who watch the videos, who give it a thumbs up, who watch all the videos. I mean, most of you, a lot of you I see in so many of the comment sections of the real videos. The ones that I throw out there to the world and hope they do well, you know. These live streams, it's for really who's here and who knows how to find it later. I enlist them when they're over. This is like a party. I love it. We get to talk about this stuff every Saturday night. I screwed up my whole Apple ID thing, so I'm kind of off social right now, which is weird for me, but also kind of nice. But the comment sections of YouTube and email is really the only way right now that you're going to get me, which is fine. But like a lot of the questions people ask in the comment sections would benefit so many other people. I'm starting to drive people to the chat. You know what I mean? No, the ailerons weren't reversed. It was awesome. Dollar Bill Clinton in the house. If he does say so himself. What is going on, Hubert? Let's get this notification nightmare out of my mind for a minute. Not you, Farmer Man, just me. So glad I'm only a state away. I got my MiG-29 Thursday night, built it during Kenny's marathon, and had it ready for yesterday, and turned the video around and got it out last night. That son of a gun sitting at like 2,500 views. It's doing really good. Fun video, awesome plane, and I got to fly it a couple more times off camera after that video. Love it. I'll talk all about it. And I'm really glad the bulletin went out after I had already done everything, because I'd be really surly if I felt like I couldn't fly this right now. And good on them for getting on top of it and sending out, you know, new servos to replace the elevator servos on the MiG-29. Certainly, if you follow RC, you know that what happened there. It looks like a few of the MiG-29s that have gone out have had problems with the elevator servos. Of course, we're not privy to that info, but there's enough of it that Motion decided to jump on the ball and send out servos to people who have bought the aircraft. So I didn't know that though, and I flew the dog fiddlings out of it. So did Bobby. It was awesome. If you haven't seen the video on the Big 29 from Freewing, it's the last upload we did, and it was awesome. I flew it on two 5500s. There's 3 battery locations. I'm so pumped up about big planes. I love the hobby. It doesn't matter who makes it. It doesn't matter who makes it. I love the innovation of it all and what I consider kind of benchmark things, you know. And some I let get by me, but most of the time I jump all over it. And that was one I wanted to do it. I've kind of let the F-14 get by me. I've been close to him, but never really wanted to get into it with all the mixes and all. So this one though I couldn't pass, and I knew that I liked the little one, and that this one would just be just nice as well. Thanks, Jaybird Drone. So awesome airplane, great landing gear, fit and finish. Go watch James's video. I'm sure they did a great job. That's what they do. It looks good. I didn't do a build. It went together really quick. I did it during Kenny's show, by the way. Anyway, 5500 roaring tops. You guys know I like my maidens just a little nose heavy. So 3 battery locations. I'm in the very aft battery spot with a 5500 all the way back. It hits a bulkhead. And then I'm in the forward spot all the way back, hits a bulkhead. And so I'm about a finger ahead of the CG marks on the wing, which are super nice, by the way. And it was a little nose heavy, and I flew at, a lot of times we've had discussions about rates. So, guys, I'll catch up in a minute. I know there's a lot going on, but I just want to rip on my experience on this maiden, man. Kind of like a briefing for you guys. And for the stuff that was off camera. So, yeah. So the spot in the middle was empty. 5,500 roaring top in the front, all the way back in that spot. Same thing with the aft position, all the way back. About a finger width head of the CG mark. 80% is the low rate stated in the manual, and I made that my high rate, but I never got out of it. So I'm actually really with the book rates on this one. I'm gonna make my high rate 100% like the book says, leave my low rate at 80%. A couple landings, they were just right, but if you get too slow and you're only at 80%, you might run out of elevator if you aren't managing your speed well. It's not a problem. It's a great plane. It's well behaved. Angle of attack is nice. I got off probably just a little more than half the runway. I mean, just awesome. And subsequent flights, Bobby flew another flight with 5500s in it. I flew a flight with 5000s and 7000s. The 7000s were, of course, they were in the back two positions as far back as I could get them. And it was heavy and it was coming in hot, but you know, there's plenty there to work with. Get your nose high, a little thrust in there, and you could actually slow it down. So, you know, you saw my first flight. There was no go-arounds. There's no nothing. When it was time to land it, it looked good. And, oh, that's too bad. It looks like there's some crashes. I didn't have trouble. And I loaded it up, man. I mean, 2 7000s are heavy, right? All the way back. And I was basically... CG for me was in the same spot all day long. Whether I was on the light packs, I moved them up, or the mid-range packs, or the big ones. So, thanks, George. They only got better. Bobby had a good one. My camera battery ran out, so I filmed Bobby on my cell phone, but it's an 11, so it did actually pretty good. So I actually just got it. I was rocking an iPhone 7 forever, and I was just like, I gotta up my game, because I was getting along on the Flintstone plan for a long time. I mean, it might as well have been a flip phone. It was only 32 gig. I was like, give me the whole casino. 128 gig, let's do it. So, you know, again, it's this whole thing makes it possible to get in on these. Watch the videos, you know. You're gonna shop anyway, click the links. It's that simple. The rest of the world is doing this on YouTube. We can do it here too, guys. RC dudes can do it. Yeah, man, FPV's just not for me, Technophobe. It's cool. I had one guy at the field, yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yeah. 3D flyer, gas, really good. And I mean, you'd have thought he was campaigning for president. Like, I mean, it's cool that you like it, man. I'm glad you do, and you're really good at it. But you're not going to convince me to do it, no matter what. So, I could believe that, John. I mean, the book tells you how to set them up. I don't know why folks have such a hard time with that. It's a great point of reference. I mean, I guess some people don't care, but to me, that's a lot of money, man. I want all the help I can get, and the book is a great point of reference in which to discuss what people you trust have done with theirs. I don't expect everybody to like nose heavy, but it works for me. For a long time, it's worked for me. So, FPV for me is going to happen when someone else is doing it, and it's just to get cool footage. Yeah, John. John VHRC will get his, I think it's Monday is what I was hearing. So, I suppose you're going to wait on the elevator servos, though. Yeah. one thing about every plane, it's kind of like buying houses. If there's one little issue with the plane, think about these planes. It's like stacking BBs to make them fly, to get them right, to design them, and all that good stuff. I don't blame you, man. I'd put some other servos in there. If they told us in the bulletin what the spec is, I believe, maybe not the size, but that'll be easy to find out with the manual. The tech specs measurements are in the manual for servos and stuff. So dimensionally, you can figure out what you need. And then in this update, it mentioned the torque specs. So you could easily match and replace and be ready, I think, to go up. Or roll the dice and risk it. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I probably would have flown it anyway. It's hard for me to say that now. Like, I want to fly it really bad tomorrow. But, you know, if they've told everybody, hey, wait a minute, we're sending out servos because this is a not good situation, and I crash it, I mean, it's on me then, isn't it? So I think I'll wait. Because they don't just grow on trees, guys. I mean, some guys, you guys get it, I think, you know what I mean? But every now and then there's somebody comes giving you this free plane business. It's a different kind of payment. What's up, Bill Andrew? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, apparently some folks are having problems with the original servos. It seems like when they're connected up on the wrong recommended places. So that puts a stress on the servo, stalls them out. I flew with 7,000 packs, and Bobby and I weren't really shy with it, you know. And worked for us, but I don't want to risk it. They're saying they're going to send them to us all regardless of where they... I mean, they come out with a statement that says you're cool if you set it up by the book, then I'm flying it tomorrow. You know? I'm flying it tomorrow. But I've been talking to buddies, you know, and it doesn't matter what company it is. I always... Exactly, John. Exactly. I always hate it when there's a little issue with the plane, because the people who are on the fence it can be a deal breaker for them, and they're missing out on something cool. Just like I was trying to allude to a property reference. I wonder what I'm missing, Bravo. Sorry, guys. LJ Hobby Life in the house. Master Chief? Is that it? Or Sergeant? I can't remember which branch was it. You in the Army like Dave's RC? Appreciate you. Anyway, good plane, good time. We flew the Turbo Timber also and had a blast with it. I put Bobby in a 3200 4S on it all the way back. It was sick. I flew it a couple times around just to get a vibe. And then I was like, Bobby, try this on. And then I flew it on a 2200 3S, which I thought was going to be way too light for it. And it was fine. It was awesome. So I got good video of the Turbo Timber coming this week. I got Bobby's cell phone, iPhone 11 footage on zoomed in good and still not too grainy. You know what I mean? Looking good. MiG-29 videos. We got the little MiG-15. Man, I had a sick flight on the Su-30, but it wasn't on video. And then I got that glider up in the air at nighttime again. So, but for the first time, I suppose. So I got a lot to get through this week. And then I've got a couple future projects I've got to get in front of the camera. Roy. Yeah, like the guys are saying SEO, it sounds like move the battery back. Yeah, the deal breaker. So if it only takes, you just didn't want it that bad anyway, you know? If it's something small breaks the deal for you. And it's okay if you decided you didn't want it or you just didn't want it in the first place. But, you know, crapping everybody else's parade when they're excited. Look, we're all here because we're fans of the hobby and the innovation. Half of my guys aren't flying jets easily. Don't even care to. But they hang out with us and listen to it, you know? So, like, we're fans of the hobby. It's a good group of people. What a community here, you know? This thing is spread like wildfire. There's multiple streams a week now. I mean, this is pretty neat, actually. And I really wanted to let my prop guys know, be looking out, because the Turbo Timber was a blast. It really was. Of course, we flew the Mini Aero Scout. That's hilarious, too. Think about it. I put out a lot of videos, right? But the last 2 uploads, not being live streams that went out, was the Big 29. I'm going to copyright that, y'all. If you say it, you owe me a nickel. The Big 29. And then the day before, a couple days before, the Mini Aero Scout. $99, $640. Man, what a deal. Love it. You guys are amazing. You're great. You're active. I appreciate you. Your wide companies like Horizon and FMS and Hobby Zone. And then some one-off stuff are finding me and wanting to work with us. Dynam, BitGo, they're still in the playing game. I don't mean them as a one-off, but stuff like the Helping Hands and some of the kind of, like the SMC batteries I'd never heard of. Those batteries were sick, by the way, in my Felony. SEO, let's see, refresh. Sorry, y'all. Big 29er. Big 29. George, did you get yours? Guys, if there's anything coming over that I missed, say it again. All right? Bobby O, welcome. You know, SEO, if we're talking about the citation, it ought to be set up right out of the book. Now, there's a little adjustment kink on those micros. You might have to open it up or make it short, you know, cinch it a little. You gotta be careful not to break them. But like Ethan RC said, I know I'm like behind in the chat, y'all. It must be my OBS. Tim, thanks, dude. Oh man, take care of yourself. Scott Settle, the airplane stand I have is the Cruise In stand. It's like CREWZINN. P51 fan, that's too bad. Hopefully that... It'd be cool if they put... I mean, I'm a little bummed I got to do an extraction on servos, to be honest with you. But it's also a little bit par for the course. I think a big bird like this, just go for the damn gusto, though. Like 17 gram or what, I don't know, 25s. Don't be cheap on them. Nice, George. It's a sick kit, dude. I mean, they really do think about everything. It's really nice. I love how all these things are going together. I mean, I feel the same way when I put together that SU-30. Like, man, this is thought out. This is nice. I mean, you guys who started or remember early foamies, like, what a bunch of junk they were. And I was still just all over it, you know? X-Max is still in one piece. And I've been thinking about Surface just because I'm like, man, I've been really busy flying. It's the colder it gets, the more surface will happen, I think is what's going on. Travis Renneman, have you flown the FMS or Freewing F-35, and would you recommend either? Yeah, I flew them both, and they really felt very similar. I think now, though, as far as choices go, the best choice is the 6S Freewing F-35. And pay attention what other guys are doing with theirs, and probably go with the lightest battery you can fit in it. I agree, Mikey. All right, Tim. What's up, Mood Dog? Josh Weaver in the house. Bunch of useful links in the description, guys. I'm always putting them there. I'm getting ready to re-up on the website. Use that website. Bookmark that stuff, man. I mean, I'm invested in it. So use it, please. I love the Spektrum Smart Batteries 3496, especially when you're doing, my surface vehicles that are dialed in. I know the lights on the radio tells me they're done. It beeps when it's time. I like them, and I really do like their chargers. I've got a handful of them. So when I use the smart packs, it's just really easy. My only thing I don't like, but it's not a drawback, it really is a benefit, is the auto discharge. It's just a convenience thing. So I have a bunch of my batteries set to auto discharge. Ironically, I set it to like 48 hours, but what's funny, it's like the third day is when I get to fly. So I go to fly and it's like they're done. They're down to storage. I'm like, oh man, I just need to change it to 72 hours, because it is really cool that they go back down to storage charge. It's just I catch myself not being ready to go sometimes. So this is a question I knew I'd get. David Snyder. Flight-wise, how do you compare the SU to the Big MiG? I kind of said it a little bit in the video, and probably a little bit when Bobby's flying too. So it's hard to explain. I love the Su-32, by the way. The Su-30 is locked in. It feels kind of heavy, though. I think a lot of you guys might agree. It's locked in, but it feels kind of heavy. But it's right there. You know what I mean? The Big 29, it's big and all those things, and it'll slow down well, but it feels like it's right there, kind of ready. It wasn't a very good angle to display what I was noticing in the video. If it were in front of me, you'd have seen it better. But when I had the nose up and I was kind of playing with, I don't even want to say high alpha, because it's like, on my maiden flight, I'm not flirting with it too much. But I did get nose high a little bit, and I'm pumping with the throttle. And by the time I'm really slow and playing with the throttle, it's down here. So we're looking at it from behind. But Bobby and I both could notice blipping that throttle and giving it some for a minute. You could, instead of just hearing it, which is usually the case, I could see it. Like really affect the aircraft. And I was impressed by that. I think that I was very excited before I flew this to get my hands on a twin 80mm in-runner setup like this. And it was sick. It was sick. So the reason I brought my Su-30 is because it's big, and it's as similar an airframe as I have to kind of warm up on. And but it still felt very different, even as similar as they look. So it's not like, Well, if you got one, you don't need the other. I'm not just trying to sell planes, guys. It's the truth. They're different enough. I'm glad to have them both. So that's where I'm at on them. I think, I mean, what do you think not being smart, David, seriously, but the power difference on Twin 80s, two 6S packs, there is going to be a power difference. The power on tap availability is going to be more on two for multiple reasons. Two batteries, two power systems. So it was cool, guys. Could the MiG take off and land on a 150-foot runway? Depends how good you are. Yes. I took off pretty quick, no flaps. I think you could probably get off if you did flaps and really got into it pretty quick. I put a Hobby Eagle in mine, except for I only put it on in my flight for just not like half a loop, a pattern, you know what I mean? Just to kind of make sure it was dialed in, and I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I was landing without it because most of my flight was without it, and I feel like as much as I enjoy them because they're nice to just smooth things out, I wanted y'all to get the real deal. You know what I mean? Depends who you are, Air Marshal. I had a couple really slow landings, man. I mean, a little bit of a headwind, but like playing with that nose up and the thrust, you can land them short. You just have to have the game on. Dan, yeah, the X-Max is awesome. I do have one, and there's a couple videos of it right here on my channel. Thank you, Josh. Farley's already out of here. Where you at, dude? Homie asking about the Turbo Timber. It was awesome. Me and Bobby had a great time. Those videos will be coming out this week. I put Bobby in a 3200 4S, and I flew on a 2200 3S. I didn't think it was going to be all that on 2200 3S because of how big it is. It's 1500 millimeter wingspan, comes with floats, link in the description. Free wing jets fly just fine without a gyro. You guys who come by the show have heard me say this before. I put gyros in my planes that I know I want to fly slow. There are sport jets and some military jets that kind of fly real sporty that I don't put them in. But if it's a big delta wing kind of plan form, I'm probably putting one in it. I don't have one in my F-15, but I enjoy having them in A4s, MiG-21s. I did put one in the MiG-29. Partly also because opportunities are hard to come by to get them in front of the camera. So sometimes if it's windy, you know, we're going to go anyway, and I want to enjoy it. So I'll put them in it. But yeah, so my Delta Wing stuff, F-22, doesn't need it. I mean, it's super gentle, but I put them in there so I can have that much more confidence when I'm playing around with that high alpha business. And we'll be shooting touch and goes on these jets when it's so windy most guys wouldn't fly, because I don't have to work on the roll too much. I'm playing with the throttle, elevator, and the rudder. You know what I mean, to get them good. Yeah, good times, man. Good times. Flew the Dynam T28 again. You know what I mean. Bobby, I mean, we know better. It's funny. I've already flown these. I've already worked some of these Dynam planes, you know. Bobby put in a 2200 3S or something in that 50-inch Trojan. Of course it was tail heavy, you know, but he worked it out. And then I think I flew it on a bigger 3S. Yep, 3700. And it was, of course, it was dialed in. Youngblood, what's up, dude? Jeff's Custom, man, you got your F14 vid working? Captain Photon in the house. What is up, dude? Good to see you. I will, Josh. I will. Matthew Smiley, I want to get a racing drone, or should I buy a little ultra micro timber? Man, you got to make the call on that one. Which one do you want? You know what I mean? The most. Which one do you want the most? Josh, I'll totally do that in a minute. Trojans are a good time. 136 folks. What's up, Rob Truckin' Bear? Ha. Arby's does make a good gyro. Tastes way better than Spectrum and Hobby Eagle, says Air Marshal. Turbo Timber. Yeah, well, to get it. You getting the micro, or are you talking about getting the big one? Isn't there a sale right now? Olsen Aviation, I'm glad to hear that. I knew you would. Maiden on the FMS Super Cub yesterday. 1700 millimeter Super Cub. That thing is a good time, isn't it? I can't remember. Does that come with floats? I think it does. I have flown the Night Timber X right here on the channel. Yeah, we did. We flew the Night Timber X on 3S and 4S in one video, changed out the spar in that video to show you the difference between the composite spar versus the steel spar, and then let it rip on 2200 3S and 2200 4S. Definitely check out the videos, man. I work really hard all the time putting out content on this channel. So look back through the Pilot Ryan videos, and or go to my channel and search, you know, Night Timber X. You'll find it, definitely. We do a lot. Actually, we get most of the new releases before they're released over here, because the community's on fire with passion for the hobby, and I happen to be somewhat of a conduit or ambassador, seems. So yeah, man, check it out. You know, if it's back here, I've flown it or I'm about to, and if it's new and it's within the last, you know, 2-3 years, I've done it. And longer, depending on where you look. Learned it by watching you, Ricky. Where's Jordan Dole? Pipe up, Jordan. Are you in here? Yeah, those wheels are green, Raymond. Those retracts are beefy. You guys, most of you learned who I was watching me work for MRC for all that time. Loved bringing it to you there. And it was easy to be pumped up and excited about those birds. That's not going to change. You know what I mean? When it's good, I'm in. I am in. I wish that the OV10 were bigger. I probably would have been all over it, even though I think it's kind of ugly. Oh man, $34.96, awesome. Seriously, thanks for coming by. It's like an RC revolution over here. I mean, we got it bad. I mean, there's so many live streams. If you got it bad like we do, there's so many live streams all week long that you can hang out and shoot the breeze about RC like all week. Mickey B, what's up? Got merch? So I was asking for Jordan Dole because he wants me to, he likes some of the new designs we just put up the other day, which I traded a jet for. And I need to make him a short sleeve version. Isaac, man, that thing is gone, dude. If you want one, you got to get one. I'm sorry. It just didn't work out, man. Too long. Too long. I actually gave it away. I gave it away. Sorry, don't be mad. Yeah, you got to get you one if you want one. They're awesome. I gave it to a guy who actually flies full scale planes, and every now and then takes me up. And he's got a old Archer, and at the airport now is an old Stinson, a pretty rare Stinson that actually has that yellow paint scheme that is more of a Cub scheme that you'd recognize. Don't be mad at me, Isaac. We never connected on it. I gotta do it. I gotta clear space sometimes. You guys have no idea. In a couple weeks, things will look a little different. Flying Ant, dude, what is up? My man Anthony in the house. Dude, did you see my big 29 shakedown flight last night and today? Dude, did you get one? It's worth whatever trouble it is to put the different elevator servos in it. Don't even care. And again, I really am all about thanking the community tonight, man, because it is. I know we have to say it as YouTubers, and honestly, the more you say it, the better you do, and so you have to, and because of that, you can't hardly quit. You guys who are doing all those things to support the channel, whether it's memberships, clicking links, super chats, whatever, you guys are why it works. You're why the companies like it here and send us stuff to do. You're why the channel does well enough that when it's on its own, it can make big things like this happen. Man, I'm just super, super grateful. It's cool, man. You know what? I don't know exactly Craig, but it looks to me like the one that, Park Zone made, but it's like it's like yellow scheme, which is just nuts. What's up, Roach Coach? You got yours yesterday. Did you see the bulletin on the servos, man? Turn a big leaf. I think I know what you mean. Thanks, Mickey. Oh, that's too bad, Scott Settle. Charlie StoneX, what is up? There are loads of stands, though. I know, I probably have some on my Amazon store, dude. Actually. And Josh, don't let me forget, but let me do it now. Cluck, ow. This is the only time I want to do this, so pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah, man, I'm super thankful. So, keep doing what you're doing. Comment in those videos. That's the best thing you can do. I mean, YouTube is really the main driver and kind of reason that there's any of the other stuff too. Use that website, bookmark those links, use your buddy's links, that's fine, but use mine. If you want. If you don't, it's cool, but know that that's what that stuff is there for. And I want you guys to support Bobby's endeavors too. Bobby is giving it the go. I'm helping him. I'm in his corner. We're working together a lot because he's officially on BitGo's, payroll. So I want you to check that out. Check out BitGo Hobby. You can get there through me, through my website, and the YouTube channel. It's Bobby and Gabby getting it done. A lot of instruction from me. I'm helping on the SEO. I film a lot for Bobby. He films a lot for me. We're just having a great time delivering the goods, man. And I think it's really cool you know, we know there's a lot, those are bargain planes, but we're going to get in there and see what else we can do and see what other brands and stuff we can bring to y'all through that place. So, it was a high wing, if I remember right. I just saw a picture really quick. It's a 4-seater. And I believe it just got fully restored. It's pretty rare because there's not a lot of those yellow ones. So, can you? I thought you might be able to. He didn't ghost you, man. So yeah, I want you guys to, you know, if you like what we're doing over here, I want you to support us there too. Big Go Hobby's got a YouTube channel. Hit it up. Hit it up. Comment and all that stuff over there. Bobby's on it like stink on, you know. So, for the beginner bundles, 3S and 4S bundles, you get a little S150 charger, you get the battery, and it plugs into the wall. They have a 4S version, comes with a 2200 4S pack, and they have a 3S version. Guess what it comes with? A 3S pack, both 2200. Everything you need. That's why it's a bundle. Get it? Link in the description. It says smart batteries. That'll get you to the website and you can go find it if you're interested. Best entry-level charger you can do. Awesome. Was that Terror with the the fire emojis? It's hard to see up here. I'm gonna do a little, you know, the one thing you couldn't see on the motion video, they put it up against an F-22, I think. But I think the closer comparison, at least style-wise, is an SU-30. Fog City, what is up? My Surface brothers that are in the chat, you guys should check out Fog City too. Fog City RC. Some of you guys know, it was cool when you and Richie did that video the other day, Fog City. Good to see you, man. There's so many good channels, and it's not all about numbers. Like, the numbers will come. Like, there's some guys that are really doing a good job with their content, man. It looks sick, slick, and cool. Isaac, take care. See you later, man. One of these days, we're going to spend a whole day. Nice, Dad. One of these days, we're going to spend a whole day on the water. I've got a bunch of float planes that need to get up. It's actually going to be time to do the turbo timber on floats now because I'm done with all my regular footage. So, one of these days, Charlie Stonex in the house. All right, so, hey. I don't know. I hope this translates well for you guys. This is the SU-30, and it's a good sized bird, right? I mean, it's a good sized bird. Let me try to even up the tail. So I'm like evening up the nozzles, you know what I mean? In my mind, as good as I can. I'm like the nozzles. So I mean, this thing's got it by a nose, but it's not just longer, it's bigger all over. You know what I mean? I hope that helped. I love the SU-30. And it's probably going out with me tomorrow, actually. Especially since this one's got to stay parked. Did I tell you guys we flew the little MiG-15s also? So I don't have the wings on this, but just while I'm back here, Dude, I mean, it's massive. It's just so awesome. No wings. I actually had to take the wings off to get it in my car. So you might be able to look up tech specs on the SU30 and this and get a decent comparison. But this is, of course, without the wings on. Super fun time. And I really just can't wait to spend more time with it, to be honest. Shape-wise, they are comparable. Size-wise, I mean, one definitely is bigger. And because of the twin 80s and two power systems, it's got a little more oomph, it feels like. Well, anything big is going to be heavy. It doesn't really fly like it's heavy, though. That's what I really noticed. Ute, what's up? Yeah, the FMS Rafale will be fun to try as well. So I will eventually be doing the Rafale some way, shape, or form. And same with the Gripen. Boss 223. Yeah, if you... Oh, you can't stop the SU30? It'll slow down too. It'll slow down also. It does it can fly and feel heavy, but you can still... All these jets need their nose up. The funny thing that's hard to fathom sometimes is how you need more power to slow it down. On my 7000 flight on the MiG-29... I did one pass, just kind of checking it out. It was coming in hot. And it would have still been awesome if I had plenty of runway, but I'd have been a lot of in the grass if I took that one. But then I come back around, good landing starting the downwind. Let's go ahead and get that angle of attack, push it through on the throttle, hold that nose high, and I slowed it right down. So you just have to make sure you got plenty of power to come in. And you can slow them down with the nose up and a push on the power. I think that's my favorite part about jets. Yeah, the Rafale is going to be neat. I'm anxious. I really actually do like how easy it is to see. So that's a good question, Dan Gonzalez. So I really keep it simple. If I'm flying a Horizon plane, it always has their stuff in it. There's been times where it wasn't. Like I did I think one of my videos on the SU30 actually, before I got the one from Horizon, it was a plug and play and I had my own Futaba stuff in it, no gyro at all. And it was awesome. So when I fly something that's not Horizon with the gyro, it's always a Hobby Eagle and Futaba. Because I have it, you know. Because I have it. So that's why. That's why. A couple folks have thought that was an F-15. You know, the MiG-29 looks like an F-15, but it got stretched out and shrunk down in all the right places a little bit. You know what I mean? It was special. I can't wait to play with it. I did play with it a little bit, and I saw a cool flat spin start. But I didn't want to get into one because I just a little bit spooked, you know, coming out of it, especially for as low as I was. The bigger the airplane is, the higher your two mistakes high becomes. You know what I mean? Or needs to become. So, glad I got to fly it before the bulletin went out. You know, I never did anything to my F-18 though either, and it's still all right. But I'm nervous about it, so that's a bummer. Yeah. So who's talking about first airplane? First airplane or first jet? Huju just got his full set of new landing gear for the E-flite F-16. Will probably last me 2 flights before bending them again. What's wrong with the old landing gear? Take them out. Take it out on the old landing gear. Just leave them down. Practice landings for a battery or 2. Then get feeling comfortable about it. Put in your ones that work. And now, then you can go out and cycle them and all that good stuff. The E-flite F-16 is a doll, baby. You just have to be willing to stay with it. It's so light that it will scrub off its speed early. Not early, but easily if you're not careful. And with that, things can happen maybe before you're ready. But I think everybody I know loves that E-flite F-16 with whatever battery you have in it back as far as you can get it, and probably high rates all the time. Mike Bird, what question was that? Let me see. What's your favorite plane to take off and land? Man, that's tough. Kent, I don't know the answer to that. Scale of the Su-30 versus the MiG-29. I have no idea. Somebody might know that in the chat, though. Good place to ask. Good first jet. You know, that all depends what kind of surface he's flying off of now, what kind of stuff he's been flying lately, what kind of jets he wants to fly in the future. We can get somebody steered in the right direction on those 3 things. I call them qualifying questions. Let's answer them, and then I can give you a qualified answer. Bam. Thog City wants to know, everybody, how far do you travel to your flying field, and are many of you club members? I go 20 minutes. First good jet model, yeah. Mike Bird, I don't know. That's a good question. I think the MiG-29 is fantastic. Big is fun. I like the little MiG too. But you guys know you can't BS it when it's just big. It's bigger is just awesomer. Come on, man. I don't want a cheeseburger. I want a double cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? And put some bacon on it. Right? So, I mean, dude, the, 1100 millimeter, 1200 P-47 is awesome. 1500 millimeter, 1700 millimeter P-47, all of a sudden it becomes badass. Same thing happens on like Tiger Cats, you know what I mean? You go FMS Tiger Cat versus the Flightline one. Flightline one's awesome, especially if you only want to do 4S, but you need 2 of them. So I think the MiG-29, listen, sometimes I don't even want to like the stuff. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And, you know, I've kind of always had this, there are planes that get by me, like the one that got away. And I always kind of linger and pine for them still. And I think the F-14 is one I always kind of wanted to mess with, but didn't want to mess with, but always think about. I have a feeling this kind of fits the bill where I'm not too worried. You know, I got rid of my free wing A-10 because I didn't want to deal with taking the wing off and on, you know. But I love how this one stays sitting up on its wheels. It's like 4 screws and the wings are off. I can still pack it pretty easy and get a lot of stuff in there and not have to cradle it and everything. So I really liked it. I think if you watch the video, you know that I really did. And there's so much more I'd like to explore with its flight envelope, you know. And I think, you know, it's funny, when you guys see Bobby's video, you'll realize, you know, we're kind of treating this stuff like, yeah, we're doing product reviews, but we're also just like documenting our RC life. And you're going to hear that more in the videos from me, because it's a great way for me to position this stuff, because it's what it is. So in our RC life today, Bobby just lost $640 because now he's going to have to get one of these MiG-29s. So that's what I think about it, man. It's a good there's some stuff you gotta at least fly it once, man. I think that's a good time. I think it's a good time. I think it is. It's cool to have big, burly stuff. You know, for the guy who's looking at HSD stuff, but isn't quite ready to like cross the brand line, or just isn't quite ready, but is wanting to get there, wants to do bigger stuff, maybe even not foamy stuff, but hasn't. Man, that's big. That's big. That's getting closer, you know, to kind of HSD size stuff. But it's still really easy and not very complex. The setup, I didn't do anything but plug it in my receiver and Hobby Eagle. BitGo Hobby in the house. What's up, Bobby? Yeah, I was just talking about you, man. I was like, dude, in our RC life yesterday, Bobby lost $640 when he got his hands on the sticks in my big 29. Ha! It's gonna be me. 200 driver in the house. Who'd you, you know, yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's $640 compared to you know, an HSD jet is like, what, 1,000? Look at composites, you know what I mean? Different deal. Different deal. Let's see, I'm sorry. Twin Otter, I have not yet flown it on the floats, but yeah, they look cool to me. And everybody that I've heard from that has flown Twin Otter on floats seems to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it as well. Yeah, you know, Flying Ann, I appreciate that. You know, the funny thing is, it's like you always know when there's a line to tow, but I feel like I've done enough of this. I've figured out how to have a voice that's true to myself always, but still not piss off people I was working for, you know, or companies I'm working with. I think there's enough people shilling out there that these companies like to have somebody who's just a big fan of the hobby, regardless of whatever. There's stuff that just tickles your fancy. I mean, seriously, I was talking about it earlier. Like my last two uploads. One is a $99 mini Aero Scout ready to fly package, and then the other one is this big 29. We're doing HSD stuff, and then we're doing timbers. You know. MiG 15 Ultra Micro. We're just having a blast. We're doing Dynam planes. I mean, we're doing FMS planes. We're doing Hobby Zone. It's awesome. I'm flying trucks. I mean, this doesn't get any better, right? You know what? I'm really actually off the grid on social right now, having problems with my Apple account. So, I don't really know. Spencer. Never heard of DW Hobbies. Ethan. Farmer Man, you out of here? This looks like you're leaving. Everybody says hi to Bobby K. Farmer Man, see you later, dude. Farmer Man put up a airshow video. Guys, if you go over there and check him out, tell him hello from me, from whence you came. I like big planes and I cannot lie, says Rob Trucking Bear. I agree, big planes handle better, at least big prop planes do. I'm telling you, what's awesome about coming into electrics in 2009 is it's been the golden age for me since then. It's increasingly better all the time. What do they sell, Ethan? I've never heard of them. Paul McNeil. Likes motion. Awesome. I think they sell t-shirts and stuff. Captain Mike's alright, man. He's been showing up to the field every now and then. He's doing quad stuff. Golden Age. Golden Age always better than Golden Shower for sure. Will you be getting the TV for the new MiG? You know, I don't know. Don't know. There's a point on these ones that I invest in wholly myself that I'm like, all right, enough. I think if enough of you guys want to see thrust vectoring from me and Bobby, then I'll work it out. Is it a 3D print deal or is it a kit you buy? Fred Barron, you working on support right now? Oh, I got you. It was cool to see you in the Zoom last night, man. You were just soaking it all in. I feel like that's the first time I met you, really. And cool to see you here today. I hope you get done with your work situation. I would like to try the thrust vectoring, but I don't know anything about it right now. FMS new Corsair, yes, we'll be all over it. There's a saying called bit off more than you can chew. I very rarely have, it's never more than I can chew. It's kind of like I signed on for this. You know what I mean? Like I will work it out. And this channel has turned into a thing that sustains itself. My hobby turned into a thing that sustained itself. That's why I work like I do. And I did that. I turned that magazine thing into my 5 years learning how to do all of this and helping a brand that was brand new grow. I did that for 5 years, and it's my turn to do it over here and lend my talents to other companies who see the worth in that. So, man, that's what's up. I think so too, Bobby. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Is that true, Josh? Man, that's cool. Man, if it's easy to do, I'd like to try it. Francis, there were guys that did thrust vectoring on the big F-22, and remember, it'll just be in the pitch and roll on that one. It was RC Jet Dude, and he said it was really, really, really responsive. Didn't need very much. So it seemed like the vibe I was getting from him was like, man, kind of wish I didn't bother for how much I have to tone it down. I could have just left it the hell alone. So, that's kind of my take on it. I think it would be cool, but I have to get through these things. That's why when I do take the time to do like a custom job on a plane, I really, really, really like it. Because I really don't have the time to do it. I might get a model from DW Hobbies. I might just get a 3D model kit, put my own power system in it. Why don't you look at OMP models, Ohio Model Products. They've got a bunch of cool, I think even ready to go, like plug and play style electric, like Balsa 3D kits. It's a kit, Mike Bird. Yeah, Ethan RC. Ohio Model Products. Tell them Pilot Ryan sent you. One of those guys that's helping there reached out to me the other day, and I'm not really a balsa guy, so I didn't jump all over like doing some products. But I'm still all about like companies in America trying to do their thing. And so I still could work with them in some capacity. But yeah, one of the guys there came from Flight Test. I believe it's Travis. You see him as Buddy RC here and there on YouTube. The dude's a hell of a drone pilot. chase camera pilot. So I would be looking at Ohio Model Products for some balsa. Boss 223, you're hilarious. People already thought I owned the one place. Ridiculous. But that's how all in I am, you guys. Captain Photon, you got so many kids, you don't know which one of them is in the chat now. Photon, you're not 14. You got to get out of here, dude. It's not for kids. Michael Reitza. Reitza, I think I was talking about you in my... It's not out yet, so don't leave to go, watch it. But I think I was talking about you, Reitza, in my Turbo Timber video that we have not yet released. Keep on clicking the links, y'all. You want the good old boy next door running some of this stuff in the USA. Keep it coming. Mike Kennedy. Don, not so much. Not so much. That's Mike, isn't it? Isn't it Mike Petrillo? But you get your wife's account. What's going on, phone boy? Spencer. So George, back in the day, is familiar with the O&P Ohio Model Products. Says they have some great profile 3D planes. I'll make you famous, right? So be careful. You'll have to get to work. Michael Bear used to live down the street from Ace RC back in the 70s. Phone boy in the house. 144 folks. What do y'all want to know, man? Mini Aero Scout. You guys want to talk about safe? I've been starting to bind up. So you guys who've been watching my content for a long time know that most of the time when I would do a Horizon plane, I would just bind it up, AS3X, and tell you about it that way. There are so many people that are using safe or want to that I felt it a good idea to have a point of reference in regards to it. So I've been on purpose putting safe on these Horizon planes I'm doing. Now, I could go back and do it on some, but for now, expect it in the future. And if things get slow, I go back. But I think it's really cool to be able to talk about what to expect from that technology to somebody who needs it, is a beginner that needs that advice more than the rest of us. And the one thing I keep noticing over and over again is how much effort and space it takes to come full circle when safe is engaged, which I think is something that everyone who would consider using it should know. So I'm showing that a little bit in the videos. I can't hardly make videos with it in safe because it's too far away. So think of it like this. You got an experienced pilot who's gonna know at this point how much time it takes to come back around. And so you're getting in the sticks right away, full ham fist. And it's still, especially if it's windy from behind, the downwind is still so far away. And you just have to commit and hold that in to finally come back around. So it's easy for a plane. I think the pitfall here is it's easy for a plane to get too far away from a guy and then they're freaking out, or it's getting behind them and they're freaking out, Or if they're actually not at a club and they're flying where there's trees and junk, they might be in one. And I mean, this is my only concern with it. I used we flew the Turbo Timber without it on, so we could keep it close, and it was cool. I showed one pattern of how far away it gets if you stay in it the whole time, and then I showed one landing where I waited till I was on final to flip it in, and showed how just locked it is on the roll. I think it's great for that. But like for the beginner has to learn to, you can't be that heavy-fisted anyway. I think use it for emergencies and things like that. Anyway, the whole thing, like is always the case with the way I do videos, I'm going to tell you what I feel and find and read from the language of the thing. And you take it and take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So I'm sharing my experience with it, so folks might know what to expect and can ultimately have a better time with their hobby and have more success, because that's what it's really all about for me and always has been. Truckin' Bear, there's so many guys that have that opinion. I get it and I appreciate it. You know, it's so funny, like the video guy of it all makes it a real good idea for me to be well versed in the features of the things that are coming to market. So that's why I decided to start binding for safe also. I don't need it, but I think my channel will benefit from knowing what it's all about, and so will so many people who tune in, I think. The EC1500, it's cool, Phone Boy. I mean, it's not my jam, but it's all right. It's all right. I know Bobby and Adam got into the programming of the AS3X and lifted some of the restraint. So opened up the throws on it a little, you know. Here's the deal. If your receiver is already tuned to max elevator, let's say, is 75%, you be 100% on your radio, and still it's only the 75. So if you're like flying the EC1500 and you can't get a knife edge out of it, you can get in the receiver and make sure your rudder is actually opened up. So in the receiver, put your rudder to, 100%. And then your radio is giving you true kind of numbers as to what the throws are. Make sense? So yeah, I like the EC1500. But I think my problem was I wished it was opened up. Because I think I tried a knife edge and I thought I should be able to do one and I couldn't. And I was like, what? And so I kind of traded that one off. Joe, we got to get him back out. So he's been doing a lot of stick time on the simulator, and I want to get him back out on some things. Actually, the Turbo Timber, I need to get him out on that before I throw the floats on it. I was going to do the air tractor, but the Turbo Timber's even better, and kind of seems to be Horizon's like second plane recommendation, the Turbo Timber. So I'm cool to try that out on him. Gabby flew the Turbo Timber a little bit too, actually. Michael Bear, that makes sense. You know, the thing about the thing is you got to teach them why. You get your muscle. If people say muscle memory, if your muscle memory becomes full stick to turn the son of a gun around, man, you will be afraid to turn it off because you will have learned heavy-handed habits. So yeah. Yeah, the EC1500 will be good for the winter. We have flown them with those. They come with skis too. Is there a sale going on right now too? Like, man, check it out. PilotRyanMedia.com. Click Horizon Hobby, phone boy. Do your thing, dude. Airvex. Thoughts on fast plane for when the ground is frozen hard. I've got the Night Timber X, but looking for faster. Love the big wheels, but FMS Super Cub seems slower, not faster. Gearing for warbirds. Is the ground nice? I mean, if the ground is nice, it doesn't really matter too much what you end up going with. The Timber series is something kind of growing on me. It's interesting. There's so many options. You guys are going to see us have a ball on the Turbo Timber. It was, you know what, a lot of times we're dealing with a crosswind. And so when we were out yesterday, the wind was mostly down the runway. The crosswind was very slight. I mean, no kidding, it's most of the time about 90-degree cross, and we're doing it. So 339 at Tower. What's it at Horizon? So we had a ball. I had an absolute ball with that thing. Oh yeah, and I was talking about Reitza because he was saying the settings were a little anemic as far as flap to elevator, so we bumped them up a little bit more than maybe recommended, and they were dialed in, like totally dialed in. Yeah, the 1.5 P51 is a fast warbird. I think if a guy's flying around on frozen stuff, like maybe worried about the cold a little bit, I would keep it a little cheaper and lighter and look at those 1.2 warbirds. E-flite F-16 64mm on sale. I really honestly don't think it's a great beginner EDF. The 64mm F-16, and I'm sorry to say that, and I'm not trying to be correcting anybody, but if you watch my video on the E-flite F-16, I had to. The only reason I didn't kill that plane is because I had enough experience to know better. So I gave it a tremendous amount of up elevator, and it still wasn't enough, and those kinds of things. I mean, I really think the E-flite 70mm F-16 flies so much better than the little one. There are better beginner jets than the F-16 64mm. Sorry to say, but it's the truth. You know what's funny? Like when I had Gabby flying, I had her flying in safe, and it was the same deal. It was getting too far away. But Bobby has her fly all the time and tells her it's in safe, but it's not, and she does just fine. So, that's what's happening. You're welcome, David Snyder, dude. Thanks for being you, man. Always around. Always great to support all of us. All this stuff on sale, guys. Click it or ticket. PilotRyanMedia.com. Link in the description to that. My Instagram. Some of the products we've been doing lately. All that good stuff. Bookmark the website. The Amazon store. Check out the merch. Yada, yada, yada. Join the channel. Click the like. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like y'all got a lot of work to do. But it's really necessary. These things are what drive this YouTube thing. And then on the side hatch, keep us in the game, because so we can keep bringing this stuff. So pumped about everything coming up, y'all. So it's something for everybody, man. We seriously, big jet, $99 ready to fly, Dynam planes, prop planes, ultra micros. This last week and a half, we have done it, man. Glider, night glider videos coming, all that stuff, dude. Daryl Pinson, E-flite F-15 is a great first EDF for him. I would say, I still don't think it's a great first EDF, but I think it's better than the F-16 is. That E-flite F4, man, it flies really nice and light. That's a good price, man. $337. What? Do you like how the Havoc flies or the SU-30? Completely different animals. I mean, honestly, I like the way the SU-30 flies a lot. For a sport jet, though, I really like how the Havoc flies, although it's very snappy, as most people would agree. Michael Bear, that's no kidding. Get your surface game on, y'all, for winter. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Mickey BRC, that shouldn't be a problem coming in the future. Bobby, when do we get it? Bobby, you still here? We gonna wait a couple weeks? Yeah, let's wait. Victor's unpumped. Come on, man. Unpumped. Awesome. It's you know, it's gonna happen. I like making videos. They're not always airplane videos. They are as much as I can make them. But sometimes during the week, I want to get a video done by myself. That's what it's gonna be, y'all. Air vexed. Fields are grass and not level. You want some speed and something that's exciting, you know, a nice tough tail dragger. I'd be honestly, dude, if the 1.2s aren't doing it for you, you look at the FMS 1400 millimeter stuff, and there's like suspension and about 3-inch tires. You know what I mean? That's pretty helpful. Thanks, Raymond. So what else, guys? I've missed a lot on... Oh, winter. I got you. Yeah. I do need to do something, though. And I think Bobby left the room already, but there will be... I mean, I'm pretty... This basement set I've got is pretty sick. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's overflow, it's storage, it's the current ones are here. I've got a lot of planes, man. There's a bunch of planes at the shop and the garage, man. So, what I'd like to see, Mike Bird, see you later, man. Off to bed, 3:30 a.m. in England. Take care. See you in the comments. Appreciate you, Mike Bird. Thanks for coming by, dude. Mike Bird, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many guys who come on who maybe haven't been with us for long, and they've jumped in the community here like head first because it's so awesome. It's easy to and offer great support. Right away. I just love it. The engagement with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Josh Weaver. Well, guess then, but you got to do it in an email or a text because I got nothing right now, which is ironic because I upped my phone and now thank you, George Watts, for the super secret super chat. Yeah, I'm off the grid, which stinks. So, like, you got to hit me an email or text or, like, video comment sections. David C. in the house. Yeah, good time. So glad I got the video up before I found out there was a kind of, like, holdback. Richard Virchow in the house. Josh Weaver, you probably can guess what it is. Later, Mike Bird. See you later, dude. Thanks again. When you told me that you were from England. I wanted to talk with an accent, but I thought it would be awful. Yeah, Scott Settle. I mean, that's a good question. One thing I think is funny about this business I've noticed over the years is a couple things. So let me all read what Scott said so you know what I'm responding to. And that's what a good host does. Right, Kenny? Opinion. Horizon Hobby may launch some new birds to answer motion success. You think? So, it takes so long to turn these projects around. And there are always projects in the pipeline for all of these companies. You know what I mean? That knee-jerk reactions to a company's development of said product never, if they happen, you never see them as such. Because it takes so long to develop stuff. I think sometimes you might see that there was already something that was developed and someone just put the brakes on it. It was close, or maybe it was done. They decided no. Which usually once you've invested that far, you're going to go for it. But, yeah, it takes so long. I mean, I remember thinking a long time ago with Freewing and Flightline, when is the competition going to, shoot back? And if you think about that timeline, it feels like it was a long time. I mean, it was a long time before FMS started jumping into the jet game. And then it takes a while. I just think it takes a while. If they do. And Horizon is huge. Huge. So, let's see. What am I missing? Dennis Farley in the house? What's up, dude? I think someone asked me how fast the MiG is. I am not sure. Oh, Dennis. What'd you catch? What'd you catch, man? They're delicious. I want to know what he caught and how he cooked them. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at my email real quick. You guys like the MiG-29? Yeah, but not just any. There's a lot in there. Bass and catfish. Sick. Certainly there was some butter involved. I'm guessing. My grandpa was such a miser. He would never fillet the fish. Oh, Dennis, yes. He would never fillet them. So we always picking bones, Yeah, Joseph. Oh, man. You guys with the fish are killing me dead. David C. It's nice, dude. It's nice. And what's awesome is crappies good too. What's awesome is I'm totally want to fly my little MiG-29 now. Actually, because I got the RC Geek Afterburner on it. Check out the video on the channel. And because this one's kind of waiting on servos now, blackened catfish, blackened anything, like, I'll take it. Holy smokes. Let's not start on this. Quattro Formaggi. Penne pasta. Shaved Romano cheese. Blackened tuna. But I would make them cook it all the way because they serve that junk pink in the middle. So like tuna steak, blackened, cooked for me. Quattro Formaggi pasta, 4 cheese. So it's like great cheese, man. Gorgonzola, just amazing. Was one of the dishes I used to tear up at this restaurant in Muncie. It was a wildlife back then. I did a lot of I did artwork for that place. So I was like, I was giving them paintings for cash and meals. I was like, I'd rather have meals than the money. Let me have like 3 dates here. So I can like take 3 dates here to eat. Cedar plank tilapia up in this piece. Brian Chambers, yes. All right, let's quit it. Let's quit it. Photon. Doing it again tomorrow, says Farley. Yeah, man, one day Grandpa we caught like 60 crappie. And that's a lot of cleaning to do. And like I said, he doesn't fillet. My grandpa never filleted them. Like, oh my goodness. Which means you're digging the guts out of these bastards, right? Cutting the heads off, digging the guts out of every stinking one, scaling them, you know. Ugh. Eddie K. Did I use the gyro on the MiG during my other flights? I did. And I didn't. I think once I put it on, though, after that, I just left it off. I have it set at 50% gain. It didn't ever oscillate, and I just hadn't even changed it. But it was dialed in. Rob Trucking Bear, see you later. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, Francis, I know, but I was like, cook it. Young blood. Yeah, but think about cleaning 60 fish. Wouldn't you rather fillet them? Like, Grandpa, you're nuts. You're nuts. He's a Depression era boy who's no longer with us. Rest in peace, my friend. Great guy. He's why I fly planes. But you all have heard everybody talk about man cards. This dude was playing with a full deck. Totally. So, glad to be raised over there by him. Tough guy, awesome. But I wish he would have filleted those 60 darn fish. We were out there at midnight. I'm holding the flashlight, getting stung up by mosquitoes. Like, let's get this show on the road, dude. I gotta wake up and watch cartoons tomorrow. Come on. Seriously, that was it, man. Depression era. Like, don't waste anything but time. You know, I'm not kidding. I think it was 60. My dad's in here. He probably remembers the story. I'm saying. You're the... Scott Settle. Man, thanks for coming by, dude. Thanks a lot. And, I mean, if y'all don't do anything, watch the videos, comment, man. Give it a like if you're cool. Thumbs it down if you're not. It's all good. Fred Barron. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of afterburners to choose from at the moment, Raymond. Yeah, fairly low wind day when the MiG-29 was flown. I mean, listen, I have the pucker as strong with me like everybody else. I had that thing sitting on the bench ready to go and flew everything else. And the wind calmed down a little bit, not like it was too much. I thought the thing would fly fine anyhow. And it wasn't too bad at all. I mean, it was mostly down the runway and just very barely crosswind. And I think sometimes that's what surprises Bobby and I. We really are used to it being pretty windy. It's funny to see how fast things actually can come in when you're not fighting, trying to hold an attitude coming in. Oh, thanks, David. Dad says if it was too small to fillet, throw it back. Yeah, for real. He knows what... My dad's in here, man. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Same dude. We both had to live in that house. I did not fly with the ordnance, Eddie K, but I might. Usually transport, it's easy to screw them up. You know, like when you're packing them in and stuff, you need all the space you can get, especially for me. I need to get a trailer, actually. But I might fly with the ordnance because I want to see it, if it slows it down at all, you know. Like, the one plane I always fly with the ordnance is A-10s. I usually always like flying with the ordnance on the A-10s. And you know, it's funny, people think about and talk about going fast all the time. I actually am okay with a bunch of drag on the jets, depending on the jet. On the A-10, it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, man, load it up. Let's do it. But most of these others, I don't. I did put the pylons on the Big 29. And part of my reason for that is I actually feel like in my mind it does some kind of benefit aerodynamically. Whether it does or not, I don't know. It's just like a little more like yaw stability or something. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Too small, use it to catch a big one, huh? Let's see. Yeah. I definitely go for scale props all the time. That's one thing that always would drive me nuts. Like, imagine a video of like a big gasser P-47 and it just looks awesome. And they're doing this pan shot all slow down there with it from the tail to the engine. It just looks beast. Let's say they've done, because it doesn't come with it because you can't mold them in, but let's say that it's printed on, panel lines, rivet detail, things like that. All this stuff just looks amazing, and you're panning the shot, and then you get up to the engine and there's a little two-bladed prop on it. Wah, 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 wah. The electrics, you get four-bladed props, man. They look amazing. And if they're little small sometimes, you don't know. You don't notice unless you just are counting rivets. Just got the 90mm F-22 and I have not flown yet because I'm getting strange servo movements and intermittent gear. I was told it's the blue box and not to use Spektrum. Is this true? No. It's not true. There could be something else going on. It's not because it's Spektrum. And it could be the blue box, could be a servo, could be a number of things, but it's not like everybody flying Spektrum on an F-22 is having issues. There's something needs traced down there. Isolate that servo, take it out of the blue box, and plug it in a different way and see if you still get that behavior. Is there stabilization in it at all, or the gain's like super high? There's all kinds of things it could be. Why is this a known thing? Anything higher than a 6-channel and it's trouble on the blue box? I never heard that. If I just got a plane and things were acting weird, I would definitely be like talking to manufacturer or the vendor where I got it from. If there's something going on. Is it a new receiver? Saline County Clay. I don't know. I think you got just where they cut it off the mold or whatever, perhaps. Mine looked pretty good. Mike uses the AR, I think, 7350 7-channel Spektrum on blue box motion planes, no issues. Straight to the blue box. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every now and then a servo's DOA too. You can always do that. You know what? A lot of people have no problem at all with the blue boxes. I've always used the blue boxes, except I think on like one plane. And I was trying to figure out if that was what my issue was, and so I bypassed the blue box. My issue ended up being the receiver, not the blue box. So, yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a bad one. Blind. Just stumbled upon your channel. You ever done any FPV drone stuff? I haven't. I think it's the kind of thing that I want to utilize in the making of videos, but I personally have just not had the time. I would like to someday fly a plane, FPV style, but at the moment I can't even fathom being okay with being strapped into something. I've been flying line of sight for so long that the couple times I have flown a drone, I'd never looked at the screen. I was watching it. I just don't, haven't spent the time, I think it's cool. I'm glad folks do it. I think folks need to make sure they know the regulations and the rules that we all abide by that fly regular, like fixed wing stuff, and make sure they apply that to their drone hobby. Grayson's RC just fell asleep. Another glowing recommendation on how cool the show must be. Folks are falling asleep during the show. It is past your bedtime. I had a busy day. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Thursday, got the MiG-29, put it together, was up till about 3. Friday night, worked my job, and then got off early and went and filmed all day. Edited the video, put it up, distributed it, did a Zoom call with a bunch of peeps up till 3. Slept in a little bit today. Did a ton of stuff on the house because it was a rain out day, and I had a good productive day yesterday. So it's like, all right, cool. Let's do some stuff on the house. Did a bunch of like new shelves in the laundry for my wife and all this stuff. And there was a load of brush to get rid of. And I really had 2 planes that I wanted to build today for tomorrow that I still need to get to tonight and tomorrow morning. So, super busy. Yeah. So, I'm a little bit jealous that you had an hour of sleep, Grayson. Roachcoat said he had the same issues, and Motion told him not to use the AR-8000 or anything above the AR-6210. Cool. We'll do that then. Let's see. Nice, Francis. Yeah, that'd be nice. So, here's my deal on that. Ryan, do you ever have to crank up servo travel above 100% in order to get the right throw? I had to recently. Is that bad? Here's the multi-level answer to that question. So, Horizon hobby planes have throws usually in percentage and millimeter. I go with the percentage throws instead of the millimeter because it's easy. And none of them call for over 100% ever. So I never run into that problem there. When I have flown other people's planes that only do the millimeter call out, if it's above 100%, I don't usually do it. Because I'm afraid of maxing out servos a little bit. So I usually would stop at 100% anyway, or do something mechanical as far as the holes go on the servo arm and the control surface to make it happen. I'm not worried about resolution. It's all fast enough for me. I just don't want to over stress a servo, so I would rather mechanically change it so I don't need to go over 100%. But I don't think it's bad. I mean, but that's what I do. I go with the percentages as much as possible. And if the company's putting out percentages and millimeters, it's like, what the hell? Like, I'm going with the percentage because it's easy. And you're right, though. A lot of times it doesn't match. What's that all about? But it's like, I'm okay with it. You know, you look at it and you can be like, yeah, I suppose that's probably okay. Spectrum 100% is not the same as Futaba 100%. Spectrum goes to 125% and Futaba goes to 140. So there's a lot going on there. It could be the same amount of throw, but numerically different to look at. Or it could be more throw on the 140 and they actually match and their 125s are at the same spot. I kind of doubt that's what's up, though. So, you know, I just don't worry. I don't take my servos over 100% usually. Hamilton's hanger in the house. What is up? Haha, Fred. Yeah. Yeah, cool, Roach. But yeah, Huju, don't feel bad because that's something that I think guys probably run into a lot. If you go by the millimeter, you're going to have to go above 100% sometimes to get there. Or like I say, mechanically make it happen. You know what? How tall's the MiG? Look up the specs and I'll tell you. I'm not going to put it on its nose with that pylon on it. Or with the pedo, I mean. What would look good, Francis? Oh. Hanger rat jacket. I need to get back in there and make some more. We got a new hanger rat. It's the same rat, but he's got the proper YouTube squadron patch on his jacket. Let's see, catching up. Pterodactyl, you out of here? Wow, Huju, yeah. Yeah, I mean, depending on the page you land on for setting up these things, I feel like I'm gonna be able to talk to more people if I just do the percentages they say, rather than the millimeters, because I just feel like it's so easy. Anyone using FrSky on the blue box? Probably, Bob. Paul Hatcher, what up, dude? Guys, a lot of cool videos lately. Make sure you check out the channel. Thanks for coming by the live stream, but man, the channel is what's up. You out of here, Paul, or are you just getting in? Right, Josh. I always assign all my rates to one switch, too. Keep it simple. If I'm talking about low rate and high rate, it's all on one switch. Some people do individual, and that's fine. But, man, if you answer a lot of questions, it makes sense to keep it as simple to answer them as possible. That's really what's up, man, for me. That's what's up. I wish I could build this stuff in front of you guys. Joseph Youngblood, out like kraut. See you later. Gotcha. Dang, Dennis. Yeah, the laundry looks good. You know, that's the thing, guys. Listen, I don't know if y'all know this, but happy wife, happy life, man. If you're getting rained out or blown out and you can't go fly, it's cool. That's your honey-do list time. And go like a boss on it. Fun to be around, family day, let's do this, you know, because when it's nice, peace out. I'll see you at bedtime. And your honey-do, she's cool with it, man. Have a good time. You want to bring dinner home at the end of the day? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Do it like that. That's what I do. If it's bad, it's like I know what's up. You know, I'm do something else. Roach Coach, that sounds confusing. I don't understand that. I leave radio 100% and just throw as recommended mechanically. Let's see. I go 150%. What, on your servo travel? on your throws and then dial it down with dual rates. Well, that is your throws, your dual rates. And you're never on high rate, but I want full travel if I need it. Well, if you dialed it down on your dual rates, the full travel's not, it's not there. Right? Unless you're talking about programming like in the receiver. JT83 worked it out on an F16 64 millimeter. How'd that go for you, man? You must be pretty good. Killer Planes in here? Sick. Dude, what's up, man? Reinforced RC planes. Killer Planes in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get a wife who knows more about planes than any Navy pilot you meet. But not too much more. Good to see you, Steve. Words of a wise man. Yeah. Mark Bugtull. What's up, dude? You're my local guy, right? You didn't get to see the MiG, did you? You weren't there, I don't think. Are you our local guy? Right? If you're not, let me know. I think you're local, like fly at our field. Everybody say hi to Mark Bugtull and Killer Plane Steve in the house. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I really think guys make it too complicated. Do what the damn book says. The book never tells you to go over 100% servo travel. It's like that by default. You start with the new model memory. It's at 100%. The rates are in the book, you know, and do them. And then you're good to go. And then your stuff will look pretty good. Then we're all on the same page. So if it's a little twitchy or if there's not enough throw and guys you know and watch are talking about it, you know that you can tweak your settings a little bit. But I don't know why guys get in and mess with things that completely throw out a little bit what you can expect from the plane due to the book being dialed in pretty darn close for a starting point. David Wilson, late to the party, wants to know what I think about the MiG. Watch the first hour of the show, bro. I'm just teasing you. I liked it a lot. Loved it a lot. I would be gearing up to fly it tomorrow if there wasn't the elevator servo deal. I hate to risk it, so I won't. But I want to. It was a lot of fun. I flew it 3 times that day. Bobby had to leave, so we got one off on it. Then he flew it, and then I flew it a couple more times on different size batteries. And I thought it was stellar. So, let's see. Mark in the house. Yep, he's my local dude. Good to see you, man. This guy, how long have you been flying, Mark? He's like owning it on the 1.5 Mustang and the Havoc, flying the E-Flite Viper, some other stuff. But like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like you've been at it forever. And like, he's flying in the same kind of crap when me and Bobby fly in, and he's like bringing them home, man, in one piece. It's a good time. It's a good time. Our field's starting to be busy, which is kind of crazy. So there's like 2 fields in town. A lot of guys belong to the other one. But apparently there's like drama going on at that field. And so, and I'm like Mary J. Blige over here. I got no time for no drama. So, anyhow, neither do other folks. So they're coming over to, where we fly at, which is great. And until you're trying to make videos and stuff. And I got these gasser guys trained pretty good though. And I'll jump their ass if I honestly will. I've been at it too long. It's like, look, I'm not rushing them. Don't rush me. It's cool. I asked them, are you ready? You know, if you're going to go soon, I'll just kind of wait because I don't want to be up together with you because it's garbage audio. And everybody's pretty good about it, you know. There's nothing worse than someone firing one up when you're like trying to listen to your EDF on your landing or whatever, and it's just bad video. So it's pretty understood over there that you're going to wait. Not because we're some big bad deal, but just courtesy. That we have guys who fly pattern, which is the most boring thing I think you could watch. And we all wait till those guys are done, even though they're a mile away doing it. So, oh, that's awesome, Lionel Randall. Let's see. Love the MiG. Let's see. Love the MiG in all sizes. So in the time that the stream has been on, I've masked the second wing and painted the top half. So time consuming. Haha. Way to go, Air Marshal. I always set up by the book, but with planes I make on my own, I just do whatever I want to make it how I want. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Raymond Molina, see you later. Calling it a night. Good to have you. Stay safe. Stay safe, dude. I get it, Francis. I get it. Let's see. Ryan, do like flight test and go buy your own golf course to fly at. It's definitely... Y'all gonna... I can't sell a t-shirt. How am I gonna crowdfund a golf course? David Wilson, I love it. What I want from Flight Test is their Freedom Fox. Most people are pretty good, George. It's actually really cool because these guys are nice. They'll see us standing over there by our stuff, and some of them are even like, hey, are you going soon? No, we're good, man. Do your thing. And I never want them to feel like they're in a hurry. I don't want to be rushed myself. And I'm like 100% rather wait to let anybody go and get down before I go, because when I go, it's a little intro usually and a flight, a little bit of a wrap up, and out of the way. Sometimes it's, you know, if it's jets, we bring our other packs up with us, and we're gonna just like try to get a couple in, you know, before we get out of there. But it's absolutely becoming evident to me that we need to have our own place, but I don't know how easy that's going to be to make happen. Guys, we're sitting on a gold mine. Me and Bobby flying together. You guys like those formations? I mean, we're at the point where someone's going to have to film this stuff because I don't want to film it. I don't want to film it. I'll edit it. I'll do all that, distribute it, all that baloney, but for now. But I don't want to do it, and I don't want to have Bobby do it all the time. It's like, man, let's get someone filming us having this RC life. It's just killer. And to share it with y'all, because there's a bunch of flights we're doing off camera that should be out for all to see. Especially when we're taking out favorites, revisiting, you know, stuff we've had a while, things like that. Man. So, and because of the club dynamic, there's a lot of times, too, where we could be getting something done, and we're not. Because we are waiting, being nice guys, and things like that. That'd be cool. Indiana, man. North, right below Michigan. South Bend, Notre Dame territory, Steve. George, I 100% agree. I have flown a couple. One of the guys had me fly his, it's got a Contra rotating propellers on a big pattern ship, and I flew it, and it was dialed in. It was neat, and definitely what those guys do takes some skill. It's just not for me. Just like helis aren't, and 3D isn't really. Just to update, Spectrum did a transmitter firmware update to 2.07. If you're using 2.06 like I was, you could have a AS3X gyro do an incorrect stabilization maneuver. Got an email from Horizon. Josh Weaver, RC, thanks again. Want to look into the long range system. That's a nice radio. Break out a big electric jet, blow the gassers away, make them want one. Yeah, we do it all the time. You know what's great about our field? The old guys so give two licks that I could bring any Skunk Works project out there and they like could give a rip. It's hilarious. There are starting to be foamy guys flying at the field now and stuff, and they are good about not saying anything. They have to be. But anyway. Yeah, thanks. Let's see. Oh man. It goes Edgewater. In Florida. It's not Florida, right? It's Ohio, isn't it? That'd be cool. Steve, work it out, dude. Work it out. I'm the kind of guy needs an assistant to tell me where to go. Until I can free up from some of the duties and dailies, it's going to be hard to get my head out of this bloody editing situation. Let's see. Formation talk at Jet Jam. Who'd you see later? Who'd you do the voodoo that you done did? Some other time. Let me see one of these Horizon books. This book's not going to be much. You know, they usually are going to all say something like start all transmitter programming with a blank acro model, model reset, name the model, servo travel. They never say 150%. They never say full servo travel. Servo travel usually always just says 100%. So if you set your servo travel to 150% before you follow their settings, you've got jacked up rates compared to everybody else. You've got more throw than everybody else. 100% as numerical value, not 100% as all it's got. Let me find a bigger manual, because they're not gonna. They never say go to 150%. LJ Hobby Life. Sometimes you just want to throw a video out with no editing. See, the thing, the edit, I want to make sure people know what that means. The editing is for quality of the content itself, not to cut up a video to make it appear as if it was a good flight or whatever. The cuts are just, dude, I say a lot of stuff that I do not want public. I was a sailor, y'all. And I do pretty good on these streams to bite my tongue, but in front of the camera, I do okay. But man, I'm not proud of it, but I let it fly. And so I'm cutting out stuff. I cut out stuff in these intros, but never during the flight. Intros and outros. I'll say stuff that's funny at the time, but not for y'all. Stuff like that. So, but mostly the editing is again to present the video in its best light. I'm zooming in post. I'm doing color correction. I'm playing with brightness and contrast. I'm sharpening this stuff. The audio's dope always. For how windy it is all the time, it's like that's what I'm doing to these things. So they're easy to watch. That's it. Peace out. You just got here, Keller. Oh, yeah, I don't really add many slow-mos to, I definitely do to the felony videos, because that son bitch is so fast you wouldn't see it otherwise. You talking about Jing, Steve? Mike Keller says, my club is opposite. Everybody buying foamies through pilotryanmedia.com because I showed them my stuff. At least 6 planes already bought, all now having speed competitions. Nice. All right, Steve. Yeah. Yes, I know. Thanks, LJ. Yeah. I've been on Jing for a little while. I was like, move it here. He's moving to Indianapolis, but BitGo's getting close. Yeah, slow-mo's cool. I could do a lot more with these flight videos, but I don't. I tend to just keep them what it is. I'm just like making it, I want you to be able to see it, is all. I mean, I'm taking shadows out. I'm playing with all kinds of stuff. And a lot of times, whatever I got it set at on the ground to make it look good, I have to transition. Y'all don't see any of this. I transition to different settings for up in the air so it looks good. And then I got to transition back down to ground. I'm not sure anybody's doing that stuff on these things. I don't know why I do it. I don't think anybody cares. You just don't know when you're watching a good one or not half the time. So editing videos isn't very hard. It just takes a lot of time. Yeah, there's 2 reasons why more people don't do it. It's they don't know how, so that means it might be hard, or they don't want to spend the time, which is hard to come by, so that makes it hard. You got to be dedicated and all that. Best first EDF, we'll get to that in a minute. Your understanding of how planes are supposed to behave and how they are expected to fly has been very helpful. Your reviews are honest and always include great footage. Thank you, man. Thanks. You know, I want you to decide for yourself, and I just kind of like to say what I'm seeing from it, so people make the best decision for them. I don't know, Paul. Oh my goodness. Richard Verchel, let me stop this for a minute. I want you to know I'm grateful for you helping me to prevent a veteran from suicide based upon his PTSD and being in a wheelchair. That's pretty moving. How? What, just like the channel or something? Or hanging out in the chat? How did that work? Just short answer's fine, you know. So we're talking about editing videos a little bit still. So you guys know I have like graphics and logos and things like that. I mean, it's all got to get done. And then when the video's done, the point of video is for people to see them. But people don't spend the time on YouTube once they've uploaded it dressing them up, so people will. I do. So that is super deep, dude. Is he maybe talking about himself, and that's fine too. And if that was all there was to say about it, that's totally okay too. I'm super glad that that's something that goes on here. That's great. That is great. And, you know, if there's anything more I can do, actually, I'd be glad to. There's a lot of veterans here, dude. And still serving guys. Absolutely. Yeah. So Epidemic Sound, well, you have to pay for it. That'll help you from getting your music struck as a copyright strike. YouTube Audio Library is free and works. Absolutely, yeah. I'm starting to see what I missed there. Yeah, Richard, thanks for coming by, dude. Thanks for your service. You are in good company, and man, yeah. Keep on, keep on. You can do it, and you know, the thing is, you're not alone. There's a handful of guys here. I hope you come by the stream on Friday nights to Dave RC's YouTube channel. Dave's RC has all, and he's public about his PTSD. And the guy that helps him run his stream, Shadow Ops, he has it too. Those guys bounce off each other all the time, and they know when they're having a bad day and how to handle each other and encourage each other. And so I definitely urge you to stick around the community. Definitely check out Dave's RC. We can get you in touch with him even too, because you're not alone. There's more folks than just you dealing with that. I served. I don't have that. But I relate very well to what that is. So it's funny, you know, when you're a kid, if you're older, there were not names for this stuff. You were moody, you were high strung, manic, whatever, you know. Highly sensitive, high strung, you know, that's kind of the thing for me. And a lot of that stuff displays or exhibits itself the same way. Awesome. So everybody, let's do the emoji wave up in this thing right now for our man. All right, our buddy, our veteran, Richard. Let's do it. Roach Coach, I don't make the radios, dude. I just read the manuals, man. I don't know why they go up to 150%. Yeah, that's right, George. Man, it is. RC is that. It's Lewis, right? LJ? It is that. I'm not going to call RC a vice, you know. Although obsession seems to jive for much of us, right? Responsibilities, growing up, manning up, being a guy or girl who's getting along in this world that's kind of nuts. Man, it is nice having something to do. And the coolest thing about all this crazy polarized BS going on in the world, it doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, any of that mess. When it's RC, we're all okay. Talking about our favorite thing, brings us together, keeps us occupied. It's cool. It's not really that easy, so I think it's kind of the neatest thing I've ever been a part of, man. It's nuts. I hope you guys get it. Like when I opened the door, you know, the chapter changed in my RC life. You can see, I think easily why I kept it going. Man, like I was not gonna not have this anymore. I loved. It's so funny, you know. It all just kind of happened, but YouTube, man, and you people, and the engagement. That's just what's happening. Absolutely, Steve. GB, yep. That's it. That's it. Yep, good times, man. Great people, good stuff. Yeah, it's expensive, but there's worse things. You keep up with those honeydews, man, and you won't get a hard time at the house either. Guys, it's going on 2.5 hours of this. So, Jordan, dude, I'll let you know when I got to get back into Teespring, and I'll totally get that done for you, bro. I'll totally get that done for you. There are so many levels, George, and all of them are fun and rewarding. Yep. I think it's cool watching guys figure it out, you know what I mean? You guys who have been helpful to people and been thanked for helping them learn how to fly and things like that, it's just really, really nice. It's rewarding, and you know, it's nice being good at stuff. I do want to find another manual though that's not a micro manual for Roach Coach, because I know he's sitting there in his cognitive dissonance about 150% servo travel. Yeah, make sure I'm not busting out a manual for something it's not supposed to be yet. All right. In 5th grade, got a Tamiya Blackfoot, was awesome, and had a normal life after that. Was the life not normal before that? I do have planes to build, Fred. Man, I do. At least one. The other one I got another week for. Okay. So, quick start information. This is what I'm talking about. They're talking about millimeters. Okay, like on page 3 of the Otter manual. CG, very basic, 6 minutes, millimeters, high and low, talking about flaps, all that stuff. And then you go to page 6, and here's the computerized. Yeah, I got planes to build, dude. There's secrets, cause I'm an influencer. Is it the plug and play one? I'm telling y'all, pilotRideMedia.com, click Horizon Hobby, check out the sale, y'all. It sounds like a bunch of stuff is really cheap. I'm totally gonna go check it out. Yeah, Aunt, I got stuff you guys are gonna like. So, you know, interesting getting to do beginner planes, and then it's not always a beginner plane. Yeah, we'll have to talk, Steve. We'll have to talk. Let's do it. We'll do a collab. You do all the work. Let's do this. The wife and I are doing our gender reveal tomorrow. I think it's funny that you guys don't know whether you're boy or girl yet or not. Oh, the baby. Jordan Dole. Wife and I are doing gender reveal tomorrow with my E-flite T28. Should be fun as long as I don't wreck in front of both of our families. Dude, get a video of it, put it up on the Pilots Lounge Facebook group. I'll be able to see it later once I get all my socials in order. I got this new phone and it's like, I screwed up with Apple, so it's like, it's going to be a minute before I can get back on, but plug and play is $345. So what's the, LJ. It's inspiring though. I'm inspirado. The P&P is $345. What's the bind and fly? Spencer. I sometimes have the blues too. Let's see. So, and the fact that they say this to me is always interesting because it's at 100% already by default. So, computerized transmitter setup, page 6, Twin Otter, dual rates, 100%, high, low, 70%. They're even telling you Expo on the Twin Otter. They don't always do that, but it's, you know, high, 20%, low, 15%. Set servo travo, servo travel to 100%. Set throttle cut to minus 130. Bind and fly is 500. Isn't that about what it was anyway? Nice, Ethan. So yeah, I don't recall ever seeing servo travel recommendation above 100%. Perhaps, maybe, when Kiki Somanzini was still doing airplanes for them, you would get that when AS3X was relatively new. I feel like a Visionaire or maybe a one of the giant Carbon Cubs, the first one, the blue and white one, maybe asked for 125, but it's something that I easily ignore because it's always 100%, which is basically like default. I otherwise, like on regular like civilian and warbirdish stuff, I've would say that it always says that. And again, I don't know why it even says that because it defaults to that already. What's always below 100%? Servo travel or the rates? All right, Ethan, see you later, man. Spencer Keith says, good night, Ethan. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And stay off the pipe. And don't forget to wipe. Isn't that it? That's about it, isn't it? Servo travel. On your rates, or I mean, servo travels on all planes are supposed to be 95%. Keeps the linear servos from jamming up. On my Ultra Micro MiG, It just doesn't say anything. It might be that. Airvex, that's good intel. That's a good question for, you know, the Horizon streams and stuff. So look at 20 minutes and I'm done. 3-hour tour, 3-hour tour. I can get it on a micro. That makes sense. But it seems like everything else, I mean, it's just obviously already at 100%. I mean, if you start with a brand new model, that's where things are. That's where your throws are. That's where critical things are. You know, no expo, which is like 100% no expo. Tom Anderson, most guys store their RC planes in trees and things like that. Man, I'm the wrong guy to ask on how to store a bunch of RC planes. I tell you, when I do a good job at storing them, I'm using the flat 48-inch bungee straps. Pretty cheap. You can hang them from whatever. And they're flat, so they don't seem to dig into, you know, the planes. I'll keep the foam bits and stuff, or use pipe insulation, though, still on those straps, because they definitely will leave a mark, even the flat straps. But that's what I do. I mean, in here, it's just kind of crazy, but I mean, it's amazing the amount of toys that are in here right now. You can't even see the trucks or everything over behind me. It's kind of crazy. Noontz, John Noontz flew his Bighorn from O&P today. 3S2200, not quite enough in the front. 3300 is perfect to not be tail heavy. Jordan Dole has, a lot of guys do PVC airplane stands, PVC racks. I've had PVC racks in my different vehicles, which actually kind of gave me shelves, which was cool. Yeah, foam pipe insulation on these bungees I'm talking about. I can hang them and leave them forever. Exactly, George. Yeah, pool noodles. Pool noodles are really thick, though. You know what I mean? So I think they're good if you're going to use really small PVC. For me, they're too much. What I like about the polyurethane like pipe insulation is it is thin, easy to cut it, and it will take the shape of the bottom of a fuse or whatever and retain it. Like if I take the plane out, the loops are still hanging up really nice. Rider X, the view is still amazing behind you, Ryan. Love RC mess. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my set, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't need these Arma boxes, but it looks cool. I think anybody tuning in for the first time can see some stuff back there. And, if they wanted, go find videos on those things that we've done. I think in the future I'll have a set with a lot of products behind us, and then another one that's for one at a time, just the one at the time. It is super cheap. I would, if I had more time, I would be all over that stuff. John Noontz, the balsa. from them. It's kind of one of those things that's like itching me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do something wood sometime. I just don't know what it's going to be. They do, LJ. They do. I think they come plug and play, don't they? The OMP stuff? Because that's the only way I do one right now. Is if it's... they got to provide everything. I got some ideas. What's up, Raven Rock? You're just in time for us to split. 15 minutes is the max. Fred Barron's got a video of his PVC racks for prop and EDF planes. Check it out at the Fred Barron RC YouTube channel. He's got a link here he dropped in the chat. And you can easily find him at the Fred Barron, well, yes, but at's not in the title. The Fred Barron RC YouTube channel. Check him out. And turn on the bell, dudes. Dennis Farley. Yes, thank you. They got to figure out, you know, cloning. Man, I think if there was a clone of me, we'd fight all the time. I'd beat his ass. You know, some of us are hard on ourselves anyway. What if you had another one? Son of a gun. Yeah, Nate. Rolling deep, dude. 100 some folks up in here talking about nothing. We got 13 minutes left and I'm bouncing. Bouncing. I got work to do. Man, I got work to do. I'm going to get ready for tomorrow. I should have been charging batteries during the show today. You like that, Dennis? I really want to fly the Big 29, son of a gun. Gotta wait. But cool on them for that, for sure. Guys, that video is going nuts. If you haven't seen my Big 29 video, go watch it again. I'm kidding. Don't go watch it again. But if you want to see it, it's out there. I can't get over my life. I mean, I think it's hilarious that I did a $99 ready to fly video and then the Big 29. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Right? Want it for 3D. Nice. Let's see. I'm just curious. Yeah, I know, Fred. Man, it's doing pretty good. I thought it might. Dennis Farley, elevator servos. Man, that video's on fire, guys. Go be a part of it. Ryder X. Man, do I know you, dude? Who are you? Do we know you? It doesn't matter, but welcome. I've seen you lately popping in, man. I appreciate that. The FMS has just announced their new Rafale, but Freewing has launched their Gripen. I am kind of stuck. Which one should I buy first? Both look amazing with their canards actually working. I like it better that you said Conrads, though. Autocorrect, it's a son of a gun, right? You know, I think the Gripen is the first one that might be shipping. I'm not even sure you can pop on the Rafale yet. Stick around here. You'll get to watch videos on both of those over here, because I bought a Gripen thanks to the huge success of the channel. Huge. It's huge. Nah, but seriously, like the support of the channel, people clicking the links, buying the merch, all that stuff, watching the videos, thumbsing it up, blah, 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 all that stuff makes it possible to get in on the cool new stuff that comes to market. So, yeah, tough call, dude. I won't know until I fly the Gripen and the Rafale, you know. But to answer your question, I kind of feel like if I was hot to trot on one of those, I would go with the one that was available first. I mean, that's really just that simple. Thanks, Fred. Michael Nolan, great rack, Fred. That's what he said. I'm saying, Dennis, and I think that they probably are, but the rating on torque is what's lacking potentially. And if you don't set them up by... I think once again you've got one servo moving this way and another servo moving that way. I can do it, by the way, guys. Tap your head and rub your belly. I used to play drums. That's why. Noons, see you later. Thanks for coming by. Check out Noons Airborne RC, guys. You got a video of that bighorn and lots of other stuff, I'm sure, John. Thanks, Brian. You know, I've been kind of off the radar, man, and I don't really watch the news a lot, but I have a feeling that yesterday the news didn't make much of a fanfare about the day it was. Because we're in a funny identity crisis right now. God bless all those people and the families who were affected by the tragedy that did happen way back then. First responders, police, fire, everybody, regular civilians, everybody who suffered the brunt of that. Brian, you reminded me, you know, he sent it out to a handful of us. Like, yeah, don't forget. Don't forget. Oh, that's cool. You know what, Ryder X? I've been a silent watcher for years, and I'm basically from Turkey. Are you still there? Just love your effort on regarding to promote this hobby. Ryan's got talent, says Fred. So, I've been to Izmir, Turkey, and was supposed to go to Constantinople, but things happened. We had to go somewhere else. But Izmir was my first Liberty port ever when I was in the Navy. What an interesting place that is to visit for the first time when you're 19 and you've never been out of the United States. Very cool. Thanks for coming here. We'll see you around. Glad to see you, Ryder X. Exactly, Tony. Good to see you, Tony, CCXRC. Yeah, flying ant. That's what I keep hearing. If somebody tell me definitively that you're totally cool with those servos if you set them up by the book, and I'm like so pumped about that. I would be so glad to hear that, because I will fly it tomorrow. Everybody, let's rally around Jack Shaler here. Flightline Corsair or E-Flite Mustang 1.5? Tough one. Do you fly off of grass or hard surface? How are your chops? How's your rudder game? I think more people more often probably land the Corsair well, maybe, than the other. But I love the Mustang in the air. I love it in the air, and once you get it figured out on the ground, it's a treat. I still need to put. I do want to change it. I'm looking at mine now. I do need to change the tires out, and I've always wanted to paint that blue, green. But I remember seeing all you guys in Izmir when I visited from Ankara. Says Air Vexed, nice. You know, we weren't wearing our uniforms or anything, but yeah, it's obvious to tell us, you know. What's up, Mr. T 1035? Nope, had to go to Pakistan for joining Air Force, but I do occasionally go back home, Istanbul, Turkey. Cool, man. Whoa, wait, what? Oh, yeah. Past the line of 50 trucks driving with flags in the back. Yes, going down the highway. Yeah, patriotism is not a crime, despite what folks want to tell you about it. And I'm really not going there, but yes. Yeah, I don't have any servos like that. That's what I'm saying, Flying Ant, and so I'm gonna abide by that. And again, good on them, you know, for getting on top of it. That's how they do. I mean, it's any reputable business should do that, you know, and that's great. I mean, their bulletins come out from everybody, and I'm just bummed out. I gotta change servos in it. Deal of the day, EC 1500, says Paul McNeil. We got 3 minutes. I say that, you know it's a lie, you guys. It could be a lie, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I do want to have dinner and build this blankety blank blank blankety blank blank blankety blank blank blank. Flying Ants in Texas, LJ. Where at in Texas, my friend? LJ, are you in Texas? Yeah, Hamilton. Che, what do you say? We're still here. Yep. Gonna be a breeze, Mr. T 1035. Awesome to hear that. Is it like a super long lead or what? LJ, Flying Ant is in Dallas. LJ's San Antonio. You guys can see this. Nice. All right. I hate to go, but you got to. You got to. I know, and it's totally on us if we take it out after being advised to wait on servos. I mean... Am I the only guy with a video on these things right now? I probably am, because what, I get it the day after the shipping notices went out? That's crazy. Hobby shops are going to carry an RC with that many blankety blanks in the name. 5 hours away. Who has the EC 1500 on sale? Pilot Ryan Media does. PilotRyanMedia.com, click Horizon Hobby, bam. Sale for fall, I think. Wreckham Roy, thanks for coming by, dude. See you around. I hope all's well. I remember hearing something going down with some of your family in one of the other streams, man. I hope everybody's doing well and hanging on and all that good stuff. Stay well, dude. Nice, Rider X. That would be cool. I should do... we talked about doing a fly-in last summer, and it's one of these things we'll put together one of these days. It'd be cool. Man, Horizon Hobby has the thing for $100 off. All right, George Watts, see you later, man. Yeah, I'm bouncing. Like, I'm totally wrapping it up. Guys, helpful links in the description. Things I've been doing lately. Sponsors that send me stuff, like yada yada. There's a lot of cool, useful stuff in the description. My Instagram, my website, the products we've been putting cameras on lately. All that good stuff. Terry Farmer says goodbye. Dennis Farley says goodnight to George. Good. Your dad's doing good, Roy. That's great. Good. You see him a bunch? You talk to him and all? I think, man, I always worry about older folks, dude. Especially right now. They make it so weird to try to visit people. And really, that's usually what they need the most. I swear old folks go to the doctor just so they can see somebody half the time. They really are okay. They just, no one else is coming to see them. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. But anyway, that's all I need. We're all so busy living this life, this pace. But it means a lot to them. I wish I could contact folks still that are gone. Do it if you can. Good to see you, Anthony. Flying Ant, Spencer. Nice. Flew with a 87-year-old today. That's cool. Some of those guys are better than the there's like old guys that just got to the old guy party, and so they come fully equipped with the grump. And then there's old guys that are like, yo, I'm still here. Life was awesome. Like, what's that? That's cool. Don't care that it's foam. Don't care whatever. Like, that's neat. Gotcha, Roy. It would be probably one of the best things that happens to him. Absolutely. All right, guys, man, I'm not going to keep you. I already kept you for 3 hours. Now I want to keep you for more. Go watch all my videos. No, I'm just kidding. Just watch some of them. Guys, so be staying tuned. We got a bunch of content lately, and I got a bunch to get done. My prop guys and ultra micro dudes, don't feel bad because I got your back. I've got Turbo Timber Good Times coming out. I've got Ultra Micro MiG-15 Good Time coming out. I've got that Flight Test Night Radian coming out. And then everything else, you know. Awesome, Fred. Thanks for coming by. See you next time. Wow. Goodness sakes. SEO Innovations. See you later. Oh, you guys, thanks so much. If you're here and you're not a subscriber with the bell turned on, like what in the world? Do it. All right, we're going to roll. Let's do this thing. Thanks for coming by. Saturday night is a blast for me. I look forward to it. I'm always so glad when I've got something to report. Things are going to be even easier for us to make more video, which is just what I've always wanted. So glad that I actually got that thing up and out yesterday. Because otherwise I'd be sitting here wishing I could fly this, mad about that stinking servo deal. So live through me for now. Check out that video. And be staying tuned. I do have one, a Bobby, I'll put up too. As soon as this one starts losing some steam, I'll put up something else. Not exactly sure. All right, guys, we'll see you. Thanks so much. This video, this channel, ultimately is sponsored by y'all more than any one company. You guys are why they do what they do and wanting to work with us. So I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much, and we'll see you. 5. Hanger Rats forever. 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. Number 1, maybe. Crank up 1? Nah, that wouldn't be nice. See you next time. Stick 'em. Later.